Hi, this is Joyce, speaking another week, being darn careful that the virus hasn't gotten me yet, but I take precautions. I go out with my alcohol spray bottle, I wear my mask, I take my disposable gloves with me, and I wear eye protection. When I go out to eat, which is rare, every couple of weeks, I wear a face mask, carefully taking my mask off and then putting my mask back on again when I've finished eating. It's not a great way to eat, let me tell you. It has its drawbacks. It's not elegant. But we're living in unusual times, and I don't know how long I'm going to be able to eat outside as the weather becomes colder. Not going to eat inside, that's for sure, because there's no circulation that I know of that can protect me from the virus. And our numbers are going up all over the country. So please, everyone, be mindful. No matter what the president says about how wonderful it was for him under all those cocktails that he got, he's the only one who's ever had those cocktails. Nobody else has been given remdesivir, the monoclonal antibodies, and steroids all at the same time. We don't even know what the effects will be when they wear off. It's been found that 25 to 30% of people who have had COVID wind up with a kind of brain fog, similar to what people have when they experience the autoimmune disease lupus. They can't function just quite right. Their decision-making is a little off. And as I speak, Nancy Pelosi is preparing to challenge Trump's presidency on the basis of Article 25. I don't know what the outcome will be, but I do know that having a little stability in the White House is for the best for the rest of us. We've had enough chaos and disruption in our lives. We've had enough bad policy from this administration. Pollution, it's rampant because of Trump. Who ever heard of a gigafire? They had to actually have a new name because the fires are consuming so much territory. And yet all Trump can think about is selling more lands for corporate use so that more fossil fuels may be extracted. Seems to me that the fossil fuel industry should be clever enough to come up with alternatives to what they've been doing. They've known for many years that they would have to leave assets in the ground. I don't think that they should be rewarded for continuing the same old disruptive ways and denying that climate change and pollution is not occurring because of their dirty practices. It is, and people are suffering with polluted waters and polluted air. It's enough. American exceptionalism can come through. Prince William And David Attenborough announced a mega prize for saving the environment. It's £50 million, and anyone can claim it. And I think that's a great idea. If it were up to me, I'd make sure that there were trillions available for all of us to spend on infrastructure. And we could do it with a minor tax on derivatives. They're over $250 billion. So if the US government makes $1 trillion and gives it out to the American people, and we get to invest in the new technologies as well, well, it won't be just Alaska that reaps money from oil. Perhaps the American people could reap dividends from new technologies that are developed to keep our water and air safe. I still haven't let go of the thought that we should have a president elected by the people for the people. No PAC money involved. Maybe one day we'll actually do it. And when we do, I see tremendous improvements in our lifestyle ahead. We need that infrastructure, not just for the cars and trucks and the bridges and the tunnels and the subways, but to connect all of us. We know which systems are fragile. Wi-Fi is fragile in this country. We also know our supply chains are not up to the job when schools are closed to feed all the hungry people of this nation. That's got to change. People are entitled to not have to choose between rent, food, or prescriptions. And we can do that easily. We can give a basic living wage to everyone. Not the $1,200 that's proposed, but $10,000 at least. And then people could survive for the next 6 months. Because before we get a vaccine, or before we have a rapid test installed in conjunction with masks and social distancing and good programs to isolate those who are testing positive for the disease, we're going to need that cash to live. And it should go to everyone, whether they're working or not working, whether they're old or they're 18 years old. Everyone needs a lifeline. Nobody's saying anything about the 10 trillion that the uber wealthy amassed. Why deny us, we the people, $10,000 apiece so that we can at least just live? We're not going to be buying luxuries. We're going to be surviving. So, Nancy, when you're thinking of Section 25, don't forget the stimulus for the American people, because that's equally or more important. 210,000 plus of us have died. So many of us are losing our jobs and will continue to lose our jobs. The Gilded Age must end. And it will. And there should be a clean slate for labor, where labor is ascendant once again, where it's part of corporate governance, where there are more unions, where we have labor looking after the safety of others in their industry, and we have upward mobility. We don't have to live with stagnation if we put in the right programs that will have upward mobility as part of the program. And nothing wrong with publicizing everyone's job description and the salary range for all of those jobs that are being filled. And there's nothing wrong with putting in a national database for job openings so people can decide to stay where they are or be helped to move cross-country to where new industry is building. But if you ask me, every state in the union is going to have to rebuild. We know our systems have failed, and we know how they failed, and only a national policy will be able to bail us all out and add to the healthcare programs that we already have in place that we knew long ago were works in progress. And now we need to add trauma, PTSD, and counseling to health and human services as well. Our people are in despair. Somebody has to care about we the people, because we the people need to be able to live our lives in a democracy with the pursuit of life, liberty, and happiness that was guaranteed to all of us, every one of us, through the Declaration of Independence and through the Constitution. There's so much to be done. I would be hopeful. None of us knows tomorrow what will happen, but think positively that this too will pass and we will go on with our lives. And let's hope and pray that we choose the right people to lead us, people who care about us, who have compassion and empathy in spades for all of us. Because as a group, the majority seems to want the same out of life. And we'll get there. So thank you for listening. I wanted to be a little bit more upbeat because God knows we have no idea what will happen tomorrow. But whatever it is, embrace those you love and who love you, because that's what's really important. And God bless everyone. See you next week as planned. Bye now and take care.